My name is Kroontje. I'm here to tell you about a company that I venture to guess almost no one in the room has ever heard of. At $5 million market cap, we are substantially smaller than my co-presenters, but that situation may well change. I'm here to tell you that this is our first ever public presentation, and I'd like to thank you very much for being here and listening to me. So I'm going to focus on our flagship Salvadora property. Before I do so, I'll flash the disclaimer, which you've all read, so I will dispense with reading that. So this is a little bit busy, admittedly, but let me give you the key points. The Salvadora property is 9,000 hectares, 90 square kilometers, located midway between Santiago and the northern border of Chile, about 100 kilometers northeast of Copiapó, for anyone who knows where that is. What's interesting about the project is that it's located very close to a historical mine, the Codelco El Salvador complex right here, that's produced 24 billion, with a B, pounds of copper and 5.6 million ounces of gold historically. Now, the Salvadora property has paved road access. It has high voltage power right to the northern edge of it and a river along the northern edge of it. It's located very close to two villages that are full service. One is El Salvador, about 15 kilometers to the north, and Diego del Magro, about 25 kilometers to the south. So all services are available for us there. More significant than its location so close, 15 kilometers, I'm talking now about the Codelco El Salvador mine and the Porteria smelter, which is the geological setting. It's located in a similar setting to the Codelco mine, in a adjacent Cordera collapse feature, and it contains 5 different target areas that we have identified, 4 of which we have already drilled. And now I'll get to the good part and tell you about our drilling and what we've done. So we're going to start with Arco de Oro number 1 here, which is a swarming epithermal vein system high in gold. So Arco de Oro trend is 5 kilometers long. It has 4 mines on it already, including the Alaska mine, which has produced, that's the one down here, down to 280 meters of depth, with very significant gold grades, which we can't report because they're historical. However, we've identified 2 main trends on this. One is the Feliz Retiro trend, and the other is the Alaska trend. We have shot IP in 2 separate programs, the yellow and the blue lines, in 21 and 24. And, And you can see that we've got an indication of a chargeability anomaly in what we would call pink there. So our first job was to drill shallow holes. And the shallow holes are intersecting the vein system only between 50 and 100 meters, mostly 50 to 75 meters. Here are those holes. And as you can see, we've got some interesting gold grades in that swarm right there. Our next step was to drill deep. So the first 4 were shallow. This one's deep. This vein system that we see at surface, we drilled to intersect the vein at 300 meters of depth. And I mean, it goes without saying that these kind of numbers at depth, 300 meters, are pretty interesting. 2-ounce gold and half-ounce gold, 6.5 meters of it. So following up with that, we have just recently completed a 3-hole program, of which we only have 1 of the holes back. And in fact, we don't even have the copper numbers yet. And that is this, which is brand new. So we intercepted right here, what we considered to be swarming of the veins, which was supported by the IP program. And as you can see, we've got some pretty, in zone C, we've got 23 meters of almost 5 gram and 4 meters of half-ounce gold. So blending it all together, just in the core zone, we now have 2.5 meters over a whole kilometer at 17.69 grams per ton. In other words, more than half an ounce over a kilometer. And here's the significant part. We've only drilled 1.5 of the 5 kilometers of strike length. And I'd like to show you why we think it's 5 kilometers of strike length. And that is here. We see this all the way along in different formats. Here's another format of it. Mine, but this is prevalent all the way along the trend. So now we'll move on to Cerro Blanco. Cerro Blanco is brand new. We've been wanting to drill that for 5 years. And we just finished an access road into it that allowed us to go and drill here. Why do we want to go there? Because we can see altered rock in the valley floor on the northern boundary for 1.2 kilometers along here. Here's that high voltage power line and the river. And so here's what it looks like. It has a leach cap, not unlike a lot of the megaporphyry deposits in Chile. This property, by the way, is located in the megaporphyry belt of Chile. And you can see our surface sampling, IP, and it's a very interesting target. So we drilled 3 holes into it. You can see where they are, 1, 2, and 3. And I'm pleased to give you the results of only one of the holes, which we just got yesterday. And there it is. And I think most people would say better lucky than good, but in our first hole here, in a brand new exploration target, we were lucky enough to get 153 meters over a gram, 92 and 3.8 of 12.75. But interestingly, we've got 0.51 copper here. This is a brand new thing for us. It's a porphyry system. Obviously, we're very pleased. Moving on, we'll go to Tres Amigos, which is the number 3. And this is a copper swarming epithermal system as well. As you can see, it's about 2.5 kilometers of strike from where this mining and this adit are located. And we identify this trend again from surface artisanal workings. Subsequently, we drilled nearby those mines, and this is what we got. I'd like to bring your attention to, for instance, this 34 meters of 1.5% copper, 6 meters, 5.7% copper. This is a very interesting trend and has a lot of room to go. Last, I'm going to talk about Caballo Muerto, which is yet another another porphyry target. And we drilled 5 holes into that. The first hole we drilled in 2022, that really nobody knows about, is right there. And there's our first hole, 112 meters, 1.44 grams per ton gold in porphyry setting. We have a lot of room to go. We're just starting. So our exploration objectives for 2025 are to continue to do IP on Arco de Oro. That was the first one I showed you, where we need to go northwest, where everything is becoming more obvious, but we don't have control further north than what we've drilled. Additionally, at Cerro Blanco, the second last, the porphyry target, we need to do more IP, and that's because it's a rank exploration thing that we got really lucky with, and we've got 2 more holes to announce here probably in the next 2 weeks. And our objective is to drill at least 3 more holes on each of these 3 targets, Arco de Oro, Cerro Blanco, and Tres Amigos that I've showed you already. This is our team. It's pretty sparse. It's led by Terry Walker. Terry is a MSc geologist. He's a Brit, has spent 27 years in Chile, is very up to speed in the megaporphyry and IOGC belts, OCG belts, and is very well known in the Chilean sector, so very well connected. And then really there's just myself and our CFO, who is based out of Calgary. We have 71 million shares outstanding. We have 8.3 warrants that are expiring on the 13th of March, in other words, 2 weeks at 18 cents. We have 2.8 million options at 16 cents, which is only 40% of what we could issue under our 10% rolling plan. We have debt of 2.1 million, of which 1 million is convertible at 20 cents a share. So the summary, we're in Chile's megaporphyry belt near the world-class El Salvador mine, and we're in a similar geological setting. We've already drilled 4 separate targets with very, very significant grades. And every property is 100% owned. We don't have any NSRs, overriding royalties, anything like that. We believe we're a discovery in the making, although I think a couple of those intersections in the porphyry sections might qualify as that.